Are you looking for some fun ways to save your memories from a trip? I feel that I always am bringing my sketchbook with me traveling. How can you not? It's literally inspiration all around. I'm a 28-year-old mixed media artist who needs creative expression in this fast-paced world, and I feel really inspired about mixing mediums. So this is how I'm going to keep my travel sketchbook. There's like a few different ways in this video. I'm feeling really inspired by a kind of field guide look, like you're traveling the world, like you just stumbled into someone's office and like they have this really cool book that's like a guide for the local area. And there's little details and like ephemera and stuff that's like a culmination of all of it. After you eat a couple berries and check out the local waterfalls and trails, it's time to pull out our supplies. This is all the stuff that I take traveling with me. I keep it light. Limitations breed creativity. I brought my pocket sketchbook covered in stickers. I brought my to-go watercolors, which comes with this little brush that you can put water in. I quite recommend this. It's quite fun. I wanted to finally have something that's like I could do like painterly vibes with while traveling. And then my little tin here, I'll just put a few pencil crayons and pens in there. What's the least amount of things that you could take to create the art that you want to create? I ended up staying in BC for an entire month, so I used this limited stuff for a lot longer than I was planning. So my first strategy for getting that field guide look is capturing the moment, which may come across as obvious, but there's not always time to sit down when you're traveling and pull out your sketchbook, although that is like my favorite thing to do. When you're traveling with other people, there's not always time. So when it does come about, it is honestly really special to be able to take in your surroundings and your environment, and being able to sit down with your sketchbook, it helps you to be like really in the moment. I got inspired by these pictures that I saw, and I really wanted to capture like this feeling of the forest as if it was like its own being. And so I was looking around for inspiration, and I saw this rock in front of me. It had this kind of like form as if it was like a nose. So I copied that as a side profile, and then I added kind of like the feeling of the mossy forest atmosphere all around, and I also added some old man's beard, which is that kind of crinkly bits of forest. I did this piece in the moment when I was having a nice little lunch with my family, and I wanted to capture the moment with all of the little bits and pieces that was on the table. I couldn't paint directly on the canoe, but the visual of my dad with our dog and like the red canoe with the mountains in the background, it was so pretty and it just stayed in my head. My second technique for capturing that field guide look in my travel sketchbook is by using my own photographs of the trip as reference photos. So it's nice to be able to go home after, sit down, and draw some of these things out. Or even if I'm just sitting in a park or something, I'll pull up some of the photos. This castle we explored was the perfect example of grabbing some photos and like having the time to really go into the detail by looking at the photo, so I could draw the castle quotation mark properly, quotation mark, even though I love a little bit of a wonky line and all that. And I was really inspired by the castle's bits and bobs. Much craftsmanship would go into like these tiny little pieces, like the banister or the light fixtures. And so I was really inspired by them, and I photographed a bunch of those pieces, and I created a page where it was like all of these small little elements, and that really helps to add to the field guide look. Things like studying the natural flora and fauna that's around you, or the architecture that's around you, or taking little sketches of the people that you meet and you hang out with. My third technique is going heavy on the mixed media, adding physical media into the sketchbook, like little bits of ephemera that you find along your trip. All of these things call you back to your trip. Some things that I saved was a ticket from when me and Ali went hiking on the mountain peak, and then I drew a little sketch of us beside it from photo. I did save a lot of my ephemera for like scrapbook pages in my larger scrapbook for when I get home, but it's always fun sticking little bits and bobs into my travel sketchbook. Let me know in the comments if you've been on any trips lately and how you captured memories from that trip. Did you take digital photos? Did you take a little field guide scrapbook or sketchbook like me? I'd love to hear. Ew, there's literally a weird little bug worm in my mic fluff. And there's a lot of mosquitoes. So that's how I do travel sketchbooking. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got some ideas and some things that you can also do. And even if you're not going on a trip, you can literally do it in your hometown, which is kind of fun. I love experimenting with mixed media, and I especially love sharing it with you. So follow along for the next sketchbook adventure.